Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, friends. Hi. How's everybody doing? Hello, Sammy. Hello, Jazz. Hello, Char. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Andrea. Hi, everybody. How we doing? Oh, you're good, Sammy. Hello. Hello, Christy. Hello, Allison. Hello, user Kelly. Thank you. Brianna, Uber Lady, Draco, Steph. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hello, Kaylee. Thank you, Char. Hello, Classy. Said hi, Kaylee, Char, Brianna, Uber Lady, Jillian. Hello, Mark, Christy, Boo. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Casey. Hello from the UK. Thank you, Christy. Hello. It is, well, actually, let me try it. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's so fresh. It's a hibiscus herbal tea. Hello, Jen. Thank you, Dia. Thank you, Alexis. Where's my shirt from? It's from Cider. Thanks, Addie. Mm. Just a girl who eats and talks, you say. Indeed. I know, isn't it yummy? Hibiscus tea is one. Dawn Marie, you have missed nothing because we just started. Hello, Melanie. Nail check. Ta-da. Hi, Abdul. Thank you, Blondina. Hello, Isla. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you. Thank you, Carson. The swelling is down a lot, but the swelling will be down fully in about a year and a half ish or so. What lipstick do I use? Today it is a Maybelline Superstay ink crayon. A big clue indeed. Hello, Sean. Shane, excuse me. Hello from Baltimore. Thank you, Jay Patter, for subscribing. We're on our way to 900 for the sushi stream. Oh, I'm sorry, doll. Sorry you're having a tough day. Did it stay? Did what stay? So far, transfer proof. We'll see. We'll see. I'm a little bit hesitant about this particular lip, but today is the test. We're going to be putting this Maybelline to the test because we're at a Mexican restaurant. Hello, Scarlett. Hello, Lon. Thank you. Thank you, Layla. Not Lon, not Lonnie, Alana, right? What mic is this? It's a Hollyland C1. Hi, I'm Paro. The dent in my forehead has gone away. Thank you for subscribing, Kelsey. I missed it. Thank you. And thank you, Khadijah. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Blue Color. Hello, Lon. Yeah, so normally what I do, someone said it kicked them before, is because I do the makeup streams I do for only subscribers, but I do these for everyone. Uh, Hello, Rachel. The drink is a hibiscus tea, but there's like some spices and stuff, and it's a little sweet. As a hairdresser, all are welcome in my chair. Well, that's very sweet of you. How does swelling affect if you look more feminine? I'm not sure what you mean, but yes, there is some swelling. It's way down from where it was in the beginning, way down. But uh, it's like you kind of plateau, but the swelling goes down just a little bit every day to the point where after about 2 years or so, it'll be completely gone. It takes a while. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, whoever said something about my eyes. Nope, not a Shirley Temple. It's a hibiscus herbal tea. Thank you, Rachel. Hello, Nevea. No nugget today. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Aaliyah. Or Ale. You're not Aaliyah. Maybe you are. Thank you, Alex. Hello, Mads. Yeah, I hear you, Katie. We can just ignore them. I think you're. Oh, thank you very much, Angelica. I agree. I think it was a really great job they did. Hello, Hallie. What are we eating today? We're at a Mexican restaurant. This is a hibiscus herbal tea. Mm. Hello, Ball. How are you doing? Was it easy coming out as trans? No. No, it was very nerve wracking. Uh, Someone said hi, hello. It was nerve wracking, but I was very lucky to have a supportive family and supportive friends. How does the tea taste? Wonderful. Nice. It's like a nice spiced hibiscus iced tea. It matches your hair. Thank you. Uh, would you care if someone called you they rather than she? As long as they didn't call me exclusively they. If they refused to call me she, then that's a problem. But I don't need to always be called she. We all use gender neutral pronouns sometimes. How do you overcome the shyness with streaming in public alone? That's just something I've never struggled with. That's one thing I can say that I've just never had issues with public speaking. Um, can I hear my most girly voice ever? Do you mean my like highest voice? I I can give it a shot. Let's see. So if I were to voice train, obviously this isn't what it would sound like as an end product, but it might go something like, oh, God, this is going to sound awful. Awful. Geez, how does this, maybe like, hi, like, hello. My voice would be maybe more up here. Like, you can kind of feel it's a little bit strained. It could be maybe just a little bit higher. Maybe I'd be a little bit more sing-songy. Maybe a little bit more, like, I could try and go a little higher, but I really don't know, something like up here, like this. Like, this is where maybe I would, like, train. There's a bug on the straw. Oh, thank you. But, like, also, like Kathy said, you like my voice. I do, too. So, I don't know. Thank you. I got the bug on the straw. Thank you. Yeah, that would be kind of, oh, that's kind of where I would start, probably. Hello, Vera Love. My left ring is caught in my ring? Oh, my earring. Yes, thank you. Yes, it is caught in my earring. Get that out. There we go. Ta-da! Thank you, everyone. Did any of your family or friends have a problem with my transition? A couple, but not many. So my dad's side of the family, my dad himself, fantastic. Super supportive. My mom as well, my brother, all great. My mom's side of the family, fantastic. But my dad's extended family, like my dad's parents, my grandparents, and some of my dad's siblings, so some of my aunts and uncles, most of them, not supportive. In fact, like, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. But also, I'm not that torn up about it because I never was that close with them. I knew them and I saw them a lot growing up, but I never felt super close to them because we always had a bit of space between us because they were very disrespectful to my mom because they didn't like that she was Jewish. They didn't like that my dad, thank you, Judy Lynn. They didn't like that my dad married a Jewish woman. And they were always disrespectful to her. And I saw that and I kept a distance from them because of it. So when the time came for me to come out, it was like, I know they're not going to accept me. I don't need to have this conversation because I know what it's going to be, which is that they'll never call me Lily. They'll always call me Nick. They'll never call me she. They'll always call me he. And they think I'm like some lost soul that's been inhabited by a demon, which is bonkers. So, yeah. What made me want to transition, asks Amber. What made me want to transition? So it's the same for all trans people, where once you realize that you are trans, it's not like you become trans, you realize you're trans. You're always trans, you just have to realize it. So once you realize it, the only real path to happiness is to transition, right? It's kind of like, imagine that you spend your whole life with a rock in your shoe, right? And you're walking and you don't realize it's there. You just like walking and, oh my God, my foot is always hurt. And maybe you're used to it, but it still hurts. And then one day you're like, wait a minute, I think there's a rock in my shoe, right? I need to take the rock out, right? You need to take the rock out. That's the same thing with transitioning. Once you realize you're trans, you don't have to, you can leave the rock in your shoe. But if you don't take the rock out, if you don't transition, you're just going to continue being miserable. So, thank you, Maddie. I'm sorry that some of my family didn't support me. Thank you. But the ones that matter support me. Nope, haven't read the menu yet. Thank you, Aaliyah. Hello, Belly. Am I going to voice train? No, I'm not going to voice train. I mean, maybe eventually, but probably not. If someone doesn't transition, can they still say they're trans? Yes. Yeah, so go back to the rock metaphor in your shoe. If you have a rock in your shoe, you can choose to take it out or not. You're going to be happier if you take the rock out. But if you don't take it out, it doesn't mean it's not there, right? You can be trans and not transition. It doesn't mean you're not trans. It just means you're miserable. I saw some negative videos about you, so I decided to start watching and realized you're nothing like people say. Thank you, Nevaeh. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I love to hear that your family is supportive. You totally deserve to be treated the best. Thank you so much. Did transitioning change you mentally in any way, good or bad? Good. I'm happier now. I feel more myself. I'm more in touch with who I am. Less anxious. Everything's better. Never thought about that, but the rock thing is a good metaphor. I'm glad to hear it. It just means they're miserable because they choose not to transition. Yes, that is correct. Thank you, Bree. Love you so much. You don't deserve the hate you receive. Thank you, Leah. I can see the difference in your face. Thank you. Have I thought about doing a podcast? I have done a podcast before. I am not opposed to doing it again. Fellow baby trans girl. Oh, thank you. You're very sweet. Yeah, we'll go sub only soon. I do not have a day for bottom surgery. What made me do the transition? What made me want to transition? Because I knew I would be happier if I did, and I am. I am happier. Did you know you're all over TikTok? So sad. I try to stick up for you. Thank you, Sue. Do you want to be a mom one day? Would you date someone with children? Do I want to be a mom? To a human child? No. To a dog child? Sure. I have a dog, Nugget. He's great. Would I date someone with kids? I have done that before, and I'm not entirely opposed to it. Yeah. Uh, Not like something I'm, oh my God, yes, I want to date someone with kids. It's kind of like, I don't know, but I'll never say never. I came out to my parents as trans and they're kicking me out. I'm so sorry. Fine, if you have someone you can crash with, please do. Thank you, Chris. Hold on. Have you ever tried talking to someone that doesn't have the same worldviews as you? It sounds like I am talking to someone who doesn't have the same views as me right now. Hello, Elle. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Liz. My parents failed me. No, they didn't. Why did it say that Kurt Cobain was trans? Because I think that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Hello, Evelyn. Was I transitioning before I moved to San Francisco? No, but I transitioned a few months after I got here, or started my transition. How do I feel about Topa? I don't know who that is. You look like Lucille Ball. Thank you. Thank you, Whitney. My advice to someone who's transitioning, keep going. It gets better from here. Say your advice about telling your family. Say your advice about telling family about coming out if they are your shelter. Oh, okay, yeah. So if you are someone who wants to come out to your family, but your family is providing you with a roof over your head, right? And you feel that if you come out, you'll get kicked out of the house, right? If you think that you'll come out then, and after that happens, you think you might get kicked out onto the streets, don't come out. Not yet. Wait. Because losing a roof over your head and losing food those are like the base human needs. You've got to have those first. You can figure out how to come out in a way where you're safer. So wait, if that's the issue. Hello, Regan. Does it hurt to wear my hair up after the surgery? Yes, it does. That's why I haven't worn my hair up in a long time. How does it feel to be hated by a lot of the internet? Not great, but also I have a lot of lovely people who don't dislike me, people who do like me, people who find value in the content I make. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. If anytime I opened my mouth, there wasn't a single person who liked what I said, and it was just like all negative feedback, nothing that no one came to my side, I would have stopped doing this a long time ago, like a long time ago. But I believe in what I'm doing. A lot of people do. I think it's easy to fall into an echo chamber where people talk about these kinds of things and just assume that because your community dislikes me, that everyone dislikes me, right? Because to you, your community is everything. It makes sense. But there's a lot of people out there who don't feel that way. And those are the people that keep me going. I want to say hold on, I missed that. That was a really sweet message. I missed it. Someone talking about how I gave them confidence. Thank you. I'm glad you found your confidence. I'm glad. What gender am I? Oh, no. The gender you're born with. So someone said the gender you're born with is the gender you stay with. Let's talk about it. So gender and body parts are not the same thing. This is probably the biggest hurdle that people have overcoming understanding or to overcome in terms of understanding what it means to be trans. Your body parts do not determine your gender. Let's think about what are body parts, right? They are literally cells in your body, right? There's mitochondria, there's a phospholipid bilayer, there's all these different little bits and cells that make up your body parts. What is gender? Gender is a much bigger thing. It's tied in with a lot of social stuff. Gender has to do with not just what you wear, but how you see yourself, how you feel. It's a vibe thing. It's how you walk. It's how you talk. It's how you do a lot of different things. It's how you fit into the world. It's a very broad thing, gender. So you can see how just like on a base level, that's not the same thing as like a body part. Now, most people that we see a trend, there's a trend where most people who are born with a P, which is what I have, a P, most people who are born with that tend to be men, right? Usually they are men. Usually, like 90+% of the time. We know this, but not always. And people who are born with a V, which is not what I was born with, usually tend to be women. But again, not always. So when you're born, it's not that you are a gender because of your body parts. We actually make an assumption when you're born because let's say you have a P like I was born with. We assume, oh, they must be a boy. And usually that's correct, but again, not always. And when that edge case happens of a transgender person, right, where the body part that you used to assume gender isn't matching, that's what makes someone trans. Does that make sense? I want to ask a question, but I don't want to sound offensive. Victoria, ask away. Ask away. Ask away. Yeah, my mods are working overtime. Do you find it difficult on dating sites? I do find it difficult on dating sites. I really do find it difficult on dating sites. What's your opinion on biological men in women's sports? This is a question I get a lot. So specifically, what about trans women in women's sports? Okay. So I want to open this and preface this by saying that as a trans woman myself, if I were to compete in any sport, I would lose. Not because I was born the way that I was born or went through the puberty I went through. I would lose because I'm a bad athlete, right? The thing that makes me the athlete I am has nothing to do with my puberty or how tall I am or what my bones are like. I'm just a bad athlete. And I think that people pigeonhole the idea of skill in athletics to the kind of puberty you went through, right? Because there's plenty of trans women who didn't go through testosterone puberty, which is wonderful for them. I went through testosterone puberty, unfortunately, because I didn't get hormone blockers quick enough. But the idea that just because you went through a specific puberty, you are therefore a better athlete makes no sense, right? There are people right now who are really upset about how there are trans women in some pool final, and not like swimming pool, like snooker, right? And that's bonkers to me because, first off, it's not even a sport that has to do with strength, right? Not even. So, like, what's the issue? But even if it did have to do with strength, right? Like if I was competing against, let's say, me, a 6 foot tall, relatively in shape trans woman, competing against a, let's say, 5'1" cisgender woman, who would win in, I don't know, arm wrestling? Probably them, because I'm just bad at that kind of stuff, you know? Right? So like just assuming that someone who plays sports is better because of puberty, it's short-sighted. There is another instance of recently where a cis woman knelt during a fencing match because they refused to play against a trans woman, right? And that trans woman didn't even win the tournament, right? Anytime you hear about a trans woman winning something, you're not hearing about 100 instances of a trans woman losing something. You never have seen a headline that's like, headline, huge news, trans woman loses, finishes last place. It happens a lot, you know? So again, yeah, of course trans women should be able to play in women's sports. It's just another really smear campaign against the trans community, much like, oh, trans women are in bathrooms trying to cause trouble. It's another thing they're trying to make you afraid of us with, right? Like, ooh, they're trying to take sports, or they're trying to take your bathrooms, or they're trying to do this or that. We're not. We're just trying to exist happily with our fellow women. And also, no one seems to complain about trans men in sports, right? Trans men compete in men's sports. What's the problem? According to you, they must be weaker, right? But no, they're winning sometimes, and they're losing sometimes, right? Gender is not the indicator of prowess in athletics that you think it is. Okay, here, I'm gonna I'm gonna pin this really quick, okay? Biologically, you would be able to beat me in a race or a wrestling match. Charlotte, I'm gonna tell you right now, no, I could not. I am so slow. If I run for more than like a minute straight, my knees start to fail. I do not know how to wrestle. I'm sure that if you did one, if you know the first thing about wrestling, you would beat me in wrestling, right? There's nothing about me makes me good at sports, right? Uh, okay. Uh, are you sure you have XX chromosomes? No, I'm actually not sure I have XX chromosomes, Mason. I'm so sorry to call you out like this. Um, I don't have XX chromosomes because I have XY chromosomes. Sometimes people who try to like pull out the it's in your DNA argument or it's in your chromosomes will say like, you have XX chromosomes, just accept it. And it's like, no, I don't. um, but if you knew how to wrestle as a male, you would beat a female. I don't think that's true. Also, I'm not a male. I am a woman, and I'm a poor athlete. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, Jennifer. When I was 17 and in high school, I swam on my high school swim team. Okay, so I knew how to swim. I swam the breaststroke. I was the worst on the team by far. I enjoyed it. I wasn't like super into it, but I enjoyed it enough. I was at, some would say, the peak of my physique, right? Maybe 18 is the peak, but 17, I was 6 foot. I was super in shape. My body was raging with testosterone. I was like in the thick towards the end of my puberty. When I went to swim meets, as a knowledgeable and, I guess like, I wouldn't say proficient, but like decent-ish enough swimmer, I knew how to do it. They would put me up against middle schoolers, like 12, 13-year-old girls, because I was so bad. And even then they would beat me, right? Like, yeah, I know how to swim. The issue is that men who are actually athletic have lots of advantages over athletic women. I'm going to tell you right now, Kirsten, it's way less than you might think, right? If it were the case that trans women are just like so inherently better at sports, then they would be winning left and right, but we're really not. Like I said, anytime you see a trans woman winning in a sport, you're missing 100, 200, 1,000 headlines of a trans woman losing, right? If anytime you hear about a trans woman winning in a sport is the only time you ever hear about trans women in sports, of course you're going to develop a skewed version of it. Like I said, the fencing thing that happened a few weeks ago, that woman, the trans woman, didn't win. Trans women lose all the time. And if you think that the only thing that determines your athletic skill is the gender you were assigned at birth, that's a very skewed vision, a very skewed understanding of how athleticism works. You know? Hello, Haley Hubka. Yeah, sure. Rotten says, can you explain how you found out you were truly a girl? Absolutely, I can. So I always felt like I was pretending. Even from a young age, I didn't have the vocabulary to say, oh, I am trans. I didn't even know what a trans person was for a long time. Especially once puberty started, I found myself not fitting in a way that like my peers were. I felt like I was putting on a mask every day. Like I was being someone I wasn't. And I assumed that everyone was in some way, but it was exhausting. And I was deeply depressed about it. For a long time, I just thought I was like not long for this world. I thought I was different in a way. I thought I was like broken maybe. And eventually it got to a point where I had to choose, do I want to stick around this world or not? And that was, I was in a tough place. Luckily, I was able to get sober around 27 years old. And that's roughly when I started being able to like introspect and realize, think, oh, maybe it's not that I don't fit in or there's something wrong with me, but maybe I'm actually trans, right? And over the course of 2020, with the help of the pandemic, sadly, a lot of people figured it out during the pandemic because you kind of had to sit with yourself in a way most people hadn't before. Um, I realized who I was, right? And I can tell you exactly what happened. I remember I was like, you know what? I would love to try a dress on. It was something that was floating around in the back of my head, and I got to move to San Francisco, and he's like, you know what? Let me try that dress. I ordered it on Amazon. I put on a wig, and I took a picture of myself, and it was like, oh, I actually feel really more like myself right now. Let me follow this. Let me chase this, and that's how I realized. It was a wonderful but terrifying thing to happen, where it's like, oh, I have a lot of work to do, right? Um, and yeah, and I never looked back, and I've been so much happier since. So much happier, so much happier. I hope that answers your question. If gender doesn't have anything to do with organs, then why do people have surgery to change gender? So, David, good question. So the surgery that you're referencing is actually not to change anything. So the word that we use is gender affirming, not gender changing. I've never changed my gender, and neither is any trans person. We are born the way we're born, right? Even if we don't know it, I was always a girl. I just didn't know it for a long time. The transitioning of it all is not so much, oh, I'm gonna change into a girl. It's I'm going to fully realize myself. I'm going to be the true version of myself. Kind of like if you wear a mask your whole life and finally you're able to take the mask off, it doesn't mean you were the mask. It means you're still the person underneath the mask. You just you gotta take the mask off, right? So there's no changing of gender. It's affirming it. It's making it helping you feel more comfortable in your skin. Um, uh, so here's an interesting one from Aubrey. Aubrey said, "Isn't XX biologically female and vice versa with XY?" No, plenty of women are XY, and plenty of men are XX. Chromosomes and body parts do not determine gender. Do not determine gender. Uh, okay, I think, are there any other good questions? Uh, Here's an interesting one from JJ. Someone said, don't mean to sound rude, but will you ever have a girl's voice or will you always keep a guy's voice? So, JJ, it sounds like you probably don't mean this disrespectfully, and I won't take it that way. I am a girl, and therefore I have a girl's voice, right? All women have women's voices because they're women. Now, plenty of women might, not just me, plenty of cisgender women have deep voices. I'm sure there's plenty in this chat right now. People who, cisgender women who maybe when they're on the phone get called sir because they have a deep voice, not just trans women. It doesn't make them any less women. It just means they have a deep voice. Now, could I change my voice? Sure, I could make my voice more traditionally feminine. I could take it up a little bit, like, practice it up here. And, I know it doesn't sound like great, but it takes a lot of work. So I could, but honestly, I don't really want to, at least not right now, because I like my voice. I don't hear, some trans people really, it's like a big priority for them. They like, I want a voice train, and they put a lot of work into it, and they're happy with the results, and good for them. And maybe one day that will be me. But for right now, I hear my voice, and I like it. So why don't I want to change it? That's why. Which bathroom do I go to? I go to the women's bathroom because I am a woman. I want to quickly talk about bathrooms really quick, because that's something that I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about. My parents did support me here at Sea. I think there's this idea that trans women specifically have developed this big ruse to get into bathrooms, right? Because bathrooms, the reason that bathrooms are talked about so much is because it's a very vulnerable space, right? Humans, the bathroom as a concept, it's a vulnerable place where you go into a room and sometimes disrobing, right? You're kind of like a little bit dressed down, literally, right? It's a place where you go to freshen up. It's private, it's personal. So anyone infringing on that space can be considered a threat, in theory. There's this idea, this like kind of weird conspiracy that we are going through this big, massive change and trying to gaslight people into thinking that we're women so that we can go into women's bathrooms and do weird stuff, right? You know, harass people or, you know, or do worse, right? That we have this like agenda that we're not saying out loud, but if, you know, y'all were to let us be in the bathroom with you, bad things would happen. That's the idea. Um, when in reality, we use the women's bathroom because we are women. We're not there to harm anyone. We're not there to be weird to anyone or make anyone uncomfortable. We're simply there to pee or freshen up our lipstick or maybe take a selfie in the mirror, right? Like anyone else. Uh, if you feel uncomfortable, right? So I guess having said that, you can either believe me or not believe me. You could say, oh, Lily is saying she's not here to harm us. I believe her, or you can not believe me. But if you don't believe me, I ask you why, right? Why would I go through so much of an effort? So much of an effort. If I really just wanted to be weird to people in bathrooms, why would I spend the last 4 years of my life transitioning? Why would I spend countless dollars on everything from new clothes to wardrobe to gender affirming healthcare, FFS, hair removal, lots and lots of time and money and energy? Why would I go through all that? If I really just wanted to invade a bathroom, why wouldn't I just do it? Right? Like, it's not like you have much of an advantage dressing like I do and pretending, like at most like a half second before someone realizes you're being weird. Trans people are not here to hurt you. We're really not. We're not here to be weird to you at all. What message do you need to say to trans people who are scared to show their true identity? I mean, there's love out there for you. There's a community out there for you. It's hard to be trans right now in the world. It's really, really discouraging. If you can't come out right now because of whatever your situation is, it's understandable. Just bide your time and do it when you'll be safe. Do you ever sometimes feel like being a girl isn't for you? No, it's a good question. I know you're not being rude, Reagan. No. I know who I am. It's not a performance. It's not something that I, decided. I didn't decide to be a girl. Something decided it for me, right? Like, I don't know how you identify. Reagan is actually kind of gender neutral, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're someone who is assigned female at birth, who's a girl. It's not like you decided. No one ever decides, you know what, I would like to be a boy. I would like to be a girl. You are or you aren't. You don't get to make the choice. The choice, you could call it brain chemistry, you could call it fate, you could call it God, whatever. It's not something you get to decide. What do you think? Why do you think there isn't as much of? Oh, that's a good point, Lisa. Why do I think that people don't talk about trans men in the bathroom? Yeah, it's not nearly as talked about of an issue. That's not to say that trans men aren't at risk in the same way, and that it's not a very important conversation to have, but you don't hear about it as much. I think that the idea of trans men in men's bathrooms, when you start to think about it, breaks down the conservative argument. Because first off, and I know this kind of sounds silly, but I think it's important, men's bathrooms, as someone who's been in both men and women's bathrooms, tend to be grosser. They tend to be less of a nice place. I was so excited during the early parts of my transition when I found a bathroom with a couch in it, right? Or like came across a fun little conversation in like a women's room at like a club or something or whatever. There's a community to women's bathrooms that men's bathrooms don't have. So why in God's green earth would someone who identifies as a trans man give up? Oh, I need more time. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Anna. Why would someone give that up, right? Why would someone say, you know what? I don't want the nicer, I want the gross bathroom where no one talks to each other. Why would they? It's because they're men. So they want to use the men's bathroom. It's the same thing for us. They're not going into the men's bathroom to invade anything, right? And we're not going to the bathroom to invade the women's bathroom. I think also the conservative argument rests a lot in saying that we are men, right? We're not. We're not men. But assuming that a woman would want, like in their eyes, trans men are women, which they're not. But the idea that a woman would want to go into a men's bathroom doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't pack the same punch in the minds of conservatives. Like, no, why would a woman go in there? They don't have anything to do. It's not like women are going in to assault men. That the same logic doesn't work. So I think that's why it doesn't get talked about, is because it kind of breaks their argument down. What people ruin it for trans people? What people? I mean, you could talk about instances of cis men, so again, not trans women, cis men who have invaded women's bathrooms and done awful things. But again, those are not trans women. Those are cis men who need to be behind bars. Different. Very different. We have not ordered yet. How do you deal with haters like Blair White, Buck Angel, and Marcus so-and-so? Can we pin that one really quick? Yeah, let's see if I can pin it. Okay, how do I deal with haters like Blair White, Buck Angel, and I have no idea who Marcus Dibbs is. I'm familiar with Blair White. I'm familiar with Buck Angel. Well, I just made a video about Blair White, if you want to go watch it. Kind of a little bit of a takedown. How do I deal with them? I think when I think of people like Blair White, conservative trans people, I think about a slug that is begging to be covered in salt. Like, please, please cover me in salt. They are people who have allied with people who don't agree with their existence, which makes no sense. But when you go throughout history and look at an oppressor, any oppressor, there are always traitors from within oppressed groups, right? There's always people from, like within, we can take us, for example. There's always trans people, unfortunately, who are going to betray their own kind in order to buy themselves safety with the oppressor. People who will sell out their own kind in order to say, hey, when you come knocking on our doors, give me a get out of jail free, right? Give me a free pass so that I can be safe. I don't care about my people. Just don't hurt me. You can hurt my friends, but not me. And I think people like Blair and Buck have like really internalized that to a point where they identify as conservatives. And I'm sure they would say that I'm totally crazy, that they're advocating for blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, like, they're walking contradictions, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad because I think that they are just so scared and so deeply gaslit that they are willing to sell out their own people, and that just stinks. And there are people like them in any oppressed group who do this kind of thing, and it's never fun to see. I know, Tori. All right. Is the drink good? It is quite good. All right, how are we doing on time? It's 1:19. I think we've answered some questions, so let's go ahead and go sub only for a little bit. Now, if you have a question, I would love to answer it. I would love to answer it. If you subscribe, I promise I will not mute you. I'll talk about your question however long you want. We can until you're satisfied. These subscriptions help support me and help support the stream in that I do it for technically 8 times a week, if you count the Get Readies with me. They make it possible. So if you have a question, you're willing to pay $2.69 for it. You don't have to do an auto renewal. You can just buy the subscription for one month. It's $2.69. I think it's a good deal. But thank you to my mods who helped moderate that. I think we answered a lot of good questions there. I think I want to do more of this. Sorry, mods. I would like to do more of those kinds of questions because I think look, I love our sub-only space and we're always going to have it. But like, I think it's nice to have that kind of conversation. I think it's important because we need to answer those questions. I'm Ariana, a baby trans girl from Greece. Hello, Ariana. How are you? And thank you, Vleedy. Woo, exactly. Thank you, Clarabella. Kathy feels run over. Yeah, I get that. Thank you, Ryan and Nat, for subscribing. Opa. I have a question. Blair has fought against people who are against trans people. Good. She's also said that trans kids don't exist, which is inexcusable. So, yes, thank you, mods. Thank you, Z, for subscribing. Appreciate it. She has fought against Ben Shapiro and Candace Owen. Great. Again, she has also said that trans kids don't exist. It's not black and white. Of course, you can be terrible and still do a good thing here and there. But, yeah, comments were flying. I'm scared to say some stuff because I know... No, you can say it, Nay. No, you can say it. Ask away, please. If you have a question that you think is a little bit sensitive or a little controversial, truly, just, like, my mods can tell when you're asking something in good faith. Clarabelle, you were muted because you were being a little rude. Is honestly what happened. Head Zombie, hello. Opa and the emojis. Am I Greek? No, I'm not Greek. But we say that when people subscribe sometimes. All I said, no, that Clarabelle, we're not going to have this conversation here. It happened. It's over. Okay. Shall we read the menu? We're at a Mexican restaurant. This is a wonderful restaurant, okay? One of my favorites. One of my favorites. Okay. We have, for our starters, guacamole that has avocados, onions, fresh chili puree topped with pico, chips. And you can add salsa, red salsa as well, if you want, like salsas in addition to the guac. There's chicken wings, elote style. Elote, of course, is like when you have corn and tahini and cotija cheese. Very cool, Nay. Great to see you, Clyde. My daughter brushed out my curls. Oh my gosh. Are you okay? Hello, banana bread. There's matcha corn ribs. So corn ribs are like just corn that kind of are cut so you can kind of chomp them like they're a rib. It's not a Shirley Temple. It's a hibiscus tea. Thank you, Elvia. I know, thanks, Mama. There's plantain and frijoles charros, which is fried plantain, beans slow cooked with pork and sausage, and manchego cheese. That sounds kind of good. There's loaded fries with lime, crema, pico, guac, cheese. There's taquitos. There's a salad. Yes, ask away. Ask away. I don't know how to say your name. I'm gonna say Rain. I'm gonna say Rain. Good luck, Ariana. Yeah, I look like a lion with my curls brushed out too. As a fellow curly girl, you know how much work they take, so I'm a little upset. I might be a little upset too. Okay. They also have a fish part of their menu. The mar, that means fish or sea. Because in French, mar is mer. Sea is mer. They have a beso del mar, which is fresh fish, shrimp, octopus. I don't know octopus. Yes, ask away. And also, once you ask your question, send another message that says I sent it so that we can know if you're getting filtered or not. Because I promise I will answer it. The only problem is that sometimes it likes to filter and it won't tell you it's filtered. It will show you that it got sent, but no one else is seeing it. It's sometimes, okay, we didn't see it. User52, are you available to get a DM from ZZ? Or if you want ZZ, you can try and say it in a slightly different way. Octopus and calamari are your fave. I don't like this. My old name, April, is Nick or Nicholas. Went by that for 27 years. I'm happy. I don't mind people knowing that, but a lot of trans people do. So you're welcome to ask me, but just in general, be careful when you ask people because it can be kind of an upsetting question. But I'm happy to tell you. Hey, Lily, has the hate ever affected you, or does it currently affect you? Totally fine question. Yeah, it totally affects me. Yeah, it weighs on me. Absolutely, it's not fun. Do I have a middle name? I do. My middle name used to be Sylvan, kind of the quote-unquote boy version of Sylvia, and now it is Maya, Lily Maya. Okay, they have the thing in a clam sauce. I don't want that. They have a tostada, that's in quotes, de pulpo, which is octopus. Don't want that. Oh, it's okay. Not. I mean, it's not okay, but also, like, I have good people behind me. I've got good people behind me. They have Tio's ceviche. Tio in Spanish is uncle. Thank you, Clarabella. That has shrimp in house tomato cocktail sauce. I think we got this last time, and it was wonderful. Did you always feel like Lily, or did you choose the name when you transitioned? I've been using the name Lily for a long time before I even knew I was trans. Not for people to call me necessarily, but for like my video game characters and my online names. I started using Lily Tino, like 2017, 2018. It was around. But I didn't put it together like, oh, is my name actually just Lily? Oh, knowings, Mama. I hope you feel better soon. I'm so glad you have a support system. That much hate from the internet can really affect you. I agree. I've looked at some of the comments you get and they're disgusting. You were made of strong stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. The ceviche is really good. It's just like this fresh fish, cucumber, radish, and it comes with chips. It's really good. They also have a crudo, fresh fish of the day served crudo, that's raw, with ají, aguachile, red onion, and radish herbs. That sounds good too. And then they also have fried fish tacos, which are insanely good. Thank you, Samantha. So we could think about that. They also have Mexibowls, which are just kind of like, what you get at Chipotle, but I'm assuming much, much better. This is a hibiscus tea. Hello, Aria. They have plates. They've got a 20-ounce bone-in ribeye. A little too much for me today, but that sounds good. They have a pollo mole negro, which is braised halal chicken in a house mole with rice and beans and tortillas. That sounds pretty good. If your question isn't coming through, send it to me and I'll send it to Lily. Yes, please. So if anyone has a question that they need answered and they're subscribed, please message it to user52 so he can send it to me. All right. Ribeye requires, the Nosferatu voice. Yeah. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. There's a fresh catch of the day with light herb pea sauce, P-E-A-P, sauteed veggies, rice, tortillas. Okay. There's carnitas with pork braised in its own fat, citrus spices, pickled escabeche, beans, and tortillas. Could be good. Mole is really good. They have a pollo frito, which is fried chicken, sweet peppers, coleslaw, and cheesy potatoes. That could be good. They have a chile relleno. I don't know how to say this. Relleno? Am I saying it right? Which is stuffed with mushrooms, veggies, rice, beans, and tortillas. It looks like it's vegetarian. And then they have favoritos, favorites. We haven't even gotten to the favorites yet. They have enchiladas. Sounds good. Hand-made tortillas rolled with chicken or carnitas, house salsa, red onion, Mexican cheese blend, lime crema, avocado, herbs, and you can add mole, relleno. Am I saying? Okay, relleno. Closer. This is one of my fave restaurants for sure. They have zilaquiles, which is crispy tortillas, house salsa, cheese, lime crema, avocado, pickled red onion, herbs, and you can add a bunch of stuff to it. They have rolled tacos, fried pork tacos, duck tacos. They have chicken tinga tostadas. Tostadas, I think, is like the big chip stuff on top. They have a quesadilla. They have street tacos. And then, yeah, I mean, these all sound pretty good. What juice is this? This is actually not a juice. It's a hibiscus tea. Okay. This is a tough one. I don't have a restaurant that I know of that serves ceviche, but I'm going to make some myself. Yeah, and we're in San Francisco, so fish is just that much more common. I think your name is brilliant because your mom reminds me of Lily Tomlin. That's sweet. She's wonderful. What does hibiscus tea taste like? Very citrusy and floral. A little acidic in a good way. Well, the chili rellenos are vegetarian, so I would prefer to have them with meat. I bet they could make them with meat. Okay, so let's think about an appetizer. I would love a ceviche. We did it last time. Or the crudo. The crudo sounds really good, where it's fresh fish, aguachile, onion, and herbs. That sounds really good. What do we think? Should we go for the ceviche again, or should we go for the crudo? Hibiscus is delicious. I guess we could do like a little poll. All right, and someone sent a question. I'll read it in just a second. Crudo for sure. Yes. Perfect timing. Well, how about we ask our server? Hi. I'm between the ceviche and the crudo for a starter. I had the ceviche last time and it was wonderful, but I'm open to it again.
Crudo, yeah, I would go for
You think the crudo?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with the crudo. And I don't know what to do for my main yet. Something maybe a little on the lighter side, or not like super light, but not something like, oh my God, this is the heaviest thing in the world. Is there anything that you would recommend?
Not like a salad, like
Not quite a salad, but not like, fried chicken.
fried
Somewhere in
chicken.
between.
Maybe enchiladas or
Enchiladas? Okay. Let's do enchiladas. Would you recommend I do mole on top?
yeah, I
Oh,
would go for it
okay. Let's do that.
with carnitas.
If you think that's the...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Gotcha, Chris. Yeah, we got the crudo. All right, so two things we've never done before. Crudo is like a raw fish situation. It's kind of like nigiri. Do I have beauty treatments at salons? Very rarely. Usually I just get my nails done. You don't like mole? Okay. Chile relleno has beef in it, relleno. I know, but this one is a vegetarian. This has a V next to it for vegetarian. Um, so, yeah, it's kind of like nigiri, yeah, which is just like raw fish. But this one has agua chile, which is going to be kind of like a citrusy sauce, I think, and a red onion and a radish herb. So that'll be nice. That'll be like a nice light starting point. Okay, we got a couple questions that came through from people who either got muted or what have you. So here's a couple of questions. This one's from Oak. They said, hi, I'm in the stream right now. I wanted to ask Lily how she came out to those she knew. I'm really hesitant on coming out to people I know, as I'm in a very conservative place and people I know are very closed-minded. Well, first off, I'm sorry to hear that. I feel very lucky every day to be in San Francisco, and sometimes it's easy to forget, like, oh yeah, not everyone is. Okay, here's what I would say. If you think, Oak, that you can come out and keep a roof over your head, I don't know what your living situation is. If there's someone who is in control of your living situation that isn't you, right? If you're not paying for it or whatever it is, if you think you'd be out on the streets for coming out, don't come out. Wait until you have the power to put a roof over your own head or be with someone who can put a roof over your head, first and foremost. If that's not a worry, coming out to the people in your life is nerve-wracking, but it's kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off, right? You just got to say it. One thing I try to advise people to stay away from is like, I don't want to say, it's not like monologuing, but sometimes you'll see coming out posts on the internet that are like, hi everyone, I have a massive announcement and you're probably not going to like it, but I don't care. And I've been thinking about this for the longest time. And, kind of like grandstanding a little bit, building up to the I am trans. You really don't need that. All you need to do is say, hey mom, hey dad, or whoever it is that you're coming out to, and say, I've got good news. I have realized that I am trans. And from now on, I'll be using this name and these pronouns. And that's it. You don't need to put padding around those sentences because that's the information you need to communicate. It's that you're trans, name, pronouns, and couch it as good news. And that's it. I think you should tell everyone the day prior what you were doing for lunch. I don't need people stalking me. There's a reason I don't do that. It's because people are weird. Thank you, Kimberly. Okay, I hope that was helpful. And then this is from Z, who said, what are your thoughts on facial feminization surgery? They subbed and the message won't go through. What are my thoughts on it? I got it in February, and it has been wonderful. I look at myself in the mirror now, and even though I'm still kind of swollen, especially in like my nose and my chin, in my upper forehead, I am just so thrilled with the results. If you look at pictures or videos of me before February, you'll see. It's a pretty big difference. It's not like I look like a different person, right? That's hello, Brie. That's not the goal. I think people assume that like I would get FFS and then next thing I don't look even close to what I used to look like. The point is to just make subtle but powerful changes. So what do I think about it? I think it's great for those who want it. Yeah. I like the day. Yeah, Taco Bell. It was wonderful, Inked Mama. And that kind of thing I'm happy to give a little bit of warning about. But when it comes to day-to-day streams where I'm at places like this, where, this is a one-of-one restaurant, there's not any others of this restaurant, it's just safer for me. It's just safer for me. Okay, that's from Z. And then this is from Nat. Nat says, "Hi, I wanted to tell Lily that I think she should start doing food reviews and review restaurants, like what that one guy on TikTok does." Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of what I do already. It's just in a long form stream of like 2-ish hours. Um, I actually toying around with making. Would y'all be interested in an account where I take clips of the streams and like put them up, like minute long clips or so? Uh, Keith Lee. I don't know which specific person they're referring to. I would imagine there's a bunch of people like that. I don't scroll too much on TikTok. Keith Lee. Okay, seems like people know who Keith Lee is. I don't know. Background is beautiful. Thank you. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it a gorgeous background? Who can you tell me? Okay, so y'all would be interested in that. I've been thinking about it because I feel like there's so much stuff with the stream, so much content that just kind of, if you miss it, you miss it. Like, yeah, you can go and watch it on YouTube if you really want, but yeah, I don't know. So that been thinking about it. Oh, it's okay, Inked Mama. You weren't thinking about it. That there's a very, very good reason I do not, you know, obviously if you really want and people really want, they can figure out where I am. But people will call restaurants I'm at and talk to try to talk to the people in charge of the restaurant to try to get me kicked out. Um, People will come and find me in real life to be rude to me. It's happened. Uh, I don't want that. That's why. Otherwise, I'd be so happy to be like, yes, I am at the Cheesecake Factory today, or I'm going, I'd give my whole schedule every week. Good morning, Carissa from Australia. I sent you a headband that looked great with, which one was it, Kimberly? I work or have meetings, so I miss the streams sometimes. Gotcha. Well, I do post all the streams later on YouTube. Take a selfie with the background. I will after the stream. What Sarah, what did you say? That I think, Sarah, you might have gotten filtered. If you ask a question, please let us know after the fact so that we can know what it is. Because Sarah, I think your question got filtered. Would I ever debate on what is Jubilee? I do not know what that is. Would I share the restaurant after you leave? Sure. Chelsea Lee Arts. Oh yeah, that's scary. Sending. What are you sending again, Kimberly? Um, smile. Oh, you want me to smile so you can take a selfie? There you go. Jubilee platforms people to debate liberal versus conservative sides. Yeah, I mean, I do better in an environment where, look, I could do it. I'd probably be pretty good at it, but I don't like a platform that gives a voice, like a transphobic voice, any kind of legitimacy, because it shouldn't be given legitimacy. It's one of the reasons that I don't do I'm sure y'all have seen these streams. If you're watching me, your algorithm probably also gives you the streams where, and again, it's all the love to the people who do this, where they'll have like a panel where it's the person who's leading the stream, but then people can request to come up and like ask questions, but oftentimes it just devolves into, no, you're actually not women or whatever. And that kind of, I don't find that productive, right? I wouldn't be very excited to like debate a person who is never going to change their mind about trans people, because what's the point? I'd rather talk to people who are open to the conversation. Ooh. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. We're going to start with the enchiladas because they brought both at the same time, okay? Yeah, and like I didn't know where I was going to eat until like 30 minutes before I came. Yeah, I got you, Ink Mom, but I don't even know sometimes. Mascara, I used mascara today. And we also got another question. We're going to start with this. This is enchiladas with mole sauce, okay? But before we start eating it, there's another question that came through. This is from Abigail, who said, I followed Lily for some time, but I recently have found masked women attractive. What would I fall under LGBTQ? That's up to you, Abigail. I need more information. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because you like who you like. If you are someone who identifies as a woman and you are exclusively attracted to other women, mask or no, you're a lesbian. If you're attracted to men and mask women, you could be considered bi or probably not pan because the mask part wouldn't matter so much. Does that help? Also, Maddie says, I'm going to San Francisco in early June. Wondered if she's ever thought about putting together a food itinerary. I'm open to it. I just need to hear from you to know what your needs are, but I can definitely do that. Okay. Here is the mole. Let me get my work. We have the crudo, but we're going to do that as like we're going to do the main before the app. Question from Sarah. Why do you refer to yourself as a girl sometimes? I feel like woman suits you better. I mean, yeah, I'm a girl. I'm a woman. Like, I don't think that the word girl always has to refer to age. Like, yeah, I'm a girl. I'm a woman. I'm not a boy. I'm not a man. I don't think about sure, I understand the connotation of girl is often to do with like someone who's younger, and I'm 32, but I don't know. That's it's not always like front of mind. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so young. It's just kind of like shorthand sometimes. This is the main, but we actually have the starter. I'll show you, sneak peek. We're gonna eat it in a little bit. No, it's fine, Sarah. Okay, let's try this. So again, this is an enchilada, I believe, with handmade tortillas rolled with, this is carnitas, salsa, onion, cheese, lime crema, avocado, and herbs, and we added mole. Be careful with my shirt. I will do my best. Thank you. All right, can we see it okay? Let me make sure. Yeah, we can see that perfectly. All right. The avocado is super fresh. Just see how green it is. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm going to take a little bit, maybe right from here, just a little bit of that avocado off the top. Oh boy, look at this. Kind of enchilada. These are carnitas with mole. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's really nice. That's spicy. Ooh. Mole? Mole can be a lot of things, but usually it refers to like a savory, chocolatey sauce. It's brown because it's got cocoa in it. But it's not sweet. It really is just savory. It's like savory. Savory dark chocolate sauce. So it doesn't taste like chocolate, but it does have like a cocoa flavor to it, if that makes sense. Oh wow. The flavor on that is so good. Technically it's both. We haven't eaten the app yet because this is hot. I want to eat this first, and they brought the app as well. We'll eat this next. Is it any good? Yeah, it's really good. Mole is a very popular flavor to cook with in Mexican cuisine. I read once that mole doesn't have to be chocolate based, doesn't have to be cocoa based, but there's other kinds of mole, but people just assume this kind of mole when they hear mole. That's good. Kayla's eating a quesadilla with me. You're not. Well, I would say that unless otherwise specified, it is with chocolate or with cocoa. Unless otherwise specified, this is what I was expecting. But I know that mole is not only this kind of thing. It just usually is. At least in America. Like if you get mole, this is what you should expect. I'm Hispanic, it's usually more savory. Yeah, it is savory. It's like a savory chocolate sauce. Chocolate isn't the right word. It's more of like a cocoa. Because chocolate implies that it's sweet, which it isn't. It's not even a little bit sweet. It's all savory. Green mole and chicken for dinner, that's lovely. Depends on where you're from in Mexico. Exactly. Totally. But in America, for the most part, unless otherwise specified, if you order mole, this is what you're getting. It's kind of like the shorthand. Is there peanut butter in it? That doesn't surprise me. This is wonderful. You can really taste the love that went into this. These are handmade, like thick corn tortillas. The sauce has had a lot of time to develop, like a lot of time. These are really good. Would I get vocal surgery? No. I will never say never that I'm about voice training. There might come a day where I decide I want to voice train. But, but, I can pretty confidently say I will never get voice surgery because voice training ultimately gives you a better result. Voice surgery kind of narrows your vocal range, and I've heard of it not going so great. Little on Shin. Thank you, Aaliyah. How does voice training work? There's a lot of ways you can do it. You can hire a coach. You can do YouTube videos. There's exercises. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. And there's different methods that work for different people. And I've like messed around with some of that stuff, just kind of like I had a lesson once or twice just to kind of see how it felt. And I never really felt inspired by it. I never really felt like, oh, I want to keep doing this. So the chip. Hunter Schafer spoke about a chip implant? Oh my gosh, Simone, this is something I've never heard of. Tell me more about this chip. There's a chip implant? For voice? For to change your voice? I've never ever heard of that. And the fact that Hunter Schafer talking about it, well, Hunter Schafer is she's my celebrity crush. If I get asked that question, and ooh, that's so good. And usually I say I don't have a celebrity crush. It's Hunter Schafer. Yeah. Thank you, Danielle. What did I get today? This is enchiladas with mole sauce. So good. Maybe it was a hormone blocker? Oh. Okay. Yeah, hormone blocker, sure. I thought you were talking about like a microchip implant. I've never heard of that. But yeah, no. Hunter Schafer was one of the lucky ones. She got to transition early in life. So, I mean, she is the shining example of this is what happens when we give trans kids the ability to transition earlier. Look at how happy she is. Look at how wonderful she looks. What are your thoughts on Jazz Jennings and her mental health thing? I have no idea about what is going on. I don't know anything. Close to my jaw. Okay, hold on. Did I get it? You get it? Do I have a crush on Hunter Schafer? Yeah. An angel card. What is an angel card reading? Oh, Gabby Windy? Yes, please, Gabby Windy. Ooh. Yeah. If you don't know who Gabby Windy is, she's on like reality TV. She was on the most recent season of Traitors. She was on The Bachelor before she realized she was gay. She's lovely. And she just got married. And she's like the perfect amount of unhinged. And it's just like, I hear you, sister. I hear you. Hunter is your age? Ooh, cool. Mental health crash after bottom surgery? That's normal. That's normal. Thank you, Kayla. That's totally normal to like, after any surgery, to have a real big dip in your mental health. Do I have a best friend? Sure. Who doesn't have a crush on Hunter? I feel that. Yeah, my best friend and I go back to like grade school. I have no idea what an angel card reading is. You had heart surgery and gained 50 pounds. I get it. Yeah. It's just hard to go through any surgery. Uh-oh, Liz. Are you going to chicken butt me? Or do you actually have something cool? Because I swear, if you and Surly Temple are conspiring against me to chicken butt me, I'm not going to be happy. Just practicing. They're like Tara? Oh, okay. Never heard it. And what do you mean? Also, is it Marin or Marin? These enchiladas are off the charts. Really, really good enchiladas, these. Really good. But yeah, I mean, even I had a pretty serious mental health dip post-FFS. Like a really big one. I'm finally on the up from it, but it wasn't easy. Yeah, they're spicy. So, oh, don't worry, Alyssa. Severe mental health dip during COVID. Yeah. What's your question, Rain? Did you what? I would love to answer your question. Did you send it to user 52? If you did, I would so love to answer. But we haven't seen it come through. If you put periods instead of spaces, sometimes that works to beat the filter. Or use like more vague wording to ask the question. I promise I'll be able to decipher it because I get a lot of questions over and over again. Not to say that you're not asking a new question, but usually we can catch on. Do I have a best friend now? Yeah. Being a stay-at-home mom has really made me struggle with my mental health. That's look, as someone who doesn't have kids but knows people who have kids, I've heard of this struggle. I can only imagine. Only asked it 50 times. I'm sorry, but it's gotten filtered all of those times. It's nothing that we can do. Message it to user52 and they will send it to me. And I promise I will answer it. Yeah, we always want to answer questions, but it's hard sometimes with the filter because we can't control it. Sometimes it just doesn't like a certain comment and keeps it from going through. So don't change your lifestyle. Yeah. Us love is hush, oh yeah. That's sweet. This is so good. I'm so happy that I got the mole sauce. It's so stinking flavorful. It's just like it packs such a punch. This carnitas was wonderful too. Do I perm my hair? No. I've actually never had a perm before. This is my natural hair. Have I ever taken meds for mental health? Sure. Yeah. I mean, you could call gender affirming care that, but also sertraline. This was the main. I've heard the complete opposite. Oh, thank you, Trina. All right, we got a question that came through. Gotcha, Clarabella. This is from Mina. Mina said, "What was the hardest part of my surgery recovery?" And Jay says that the surgery looks so good. Thank you, Jay. Hardest part of the recovery was the mental health part. It's just tough recovering. It's tough to sit and recover and not be able to do stuff. It's hard to have like this, like even if it's a good change is hard for a lot of people. Having to recalibrate everything, and it's just a dip. I also got COVID while I was in the hospital. For the 24 hours I was there, I got COVID. And that was really hard. I'm just getting over. I'm like almost over long COVID at this point. And it was what's today? April. What's today? April something? I'm not sure. Brittany, I am close. Not that close. I would never get top surgery. No, I don't want top surgery. Nothing wrong with people who get it. April 10th. Okay, so we're 2 months and 6 days out. So yeah, over 2 months out, and I'm just getting over that long COVID of like the fatigue. I'm like mostly over that now, and the cough is a little bit. It's like lingering, but it's mostly gone. Mostly gone. I missed the little puppy gift. Oh, thank you for the puppy. I'm sorry, I missed it. Maybelline Super Stay review. Let's see. Thank you, Clarabella. I don't know. What do y'all think? It is Super Stay. It's supposed to be Super Stay. How do we think? What do we think? Hello, Nick. Thank you. It's doing pretty well. I mean, I have sauce on my lip, but what do we think? I think it's doing pretty well. I think it looks pretty good. Next on my transition, Probably bottom surgery. Yeah, that's kind of the next step. Okay, this is from Rain. Why do you feel the need to change the marker on my ID from M to F if you only change your gender? So the weird thing about official documents is that they kind of use gender and the other one that starts with an X, S, I can't say it, rhymes with mex. Um, they kind of use them interchangeably. Gender, the other one, is not really any rhyme or reason. They don't really think about it. So legally, I am F. And it really doesn't have much to do with the parts. Um, Weirdly, I can only change my birth certificate in the state of Georgia, which is where I was born, once I have bottom surgery. So that's kind of weird. But why do I want it changed? Because it reflects who I am, which is a woman. It's not like saying that I'm a woman is it's just truth, right? It's not referencing my body parts. It's saying, oh, this is a woman. You know, it's not much more complicated than that. There was actually recently Hunter Schafer, with all the new administration stuff, had to put an M on her passport, and it's like, so like why? Look at her. And even if she didn't look as incredible as she did, what's the point? Just let people put the things on there that are affirming to them. Like, it's no skin off your back. After the surgery, am I still going to do bottom surgery? Yes. I don't want to think about that, Nay. But yes, I will get another dog. Okay, this is technically our appetizer after the main. But it is, what is this again? This is a crudo, so it's raw fish, which is today the fresh fish of the day. Looks maybe like halibut or something. Agua chile, that's the orange sauce. Red onion and radish herbs. Do you think people who like Blair are transphobic? Absolutely. I mean, do you believe in the thing? Do you, if what comes out of that woman's mouth is like generally agreeable to you, then absolutely. You're fine. You're fine, Nate. Okay, here we go. That's really nice. Really simple. Really simple. Who is Blair? Blair's this like awful, awful conservative trans person who says a lot of truly terrible stuff. I did not go to college in Georgia. Yeah, Blair is a horrible person. Yeah, like, look, if you say the sentence "trans kids don't exist," you're done. Like, you're out. Like, we're not friends. We're not friends. It's just not going to work for me. I don't know what Terry time is. She is transgender. She's like, why would you? It makes no sense. I think she does it for clicks. Maybe. I think she thinks she believes it. I think part of it might be for clicks, but also part of it is like selling out your own kind for your own safety. You know, it's like you're trading in the safety of your friends for your own safety. How can she say that as a transgender person? Brittany, that's what I'm saying. Right? All about insecurity, wishing to fit into a community that will never support or accept her. That's what I'm saying. Like, she allies with the people that hate her the most, which is so confusing. Like, why? Yeah, we don't like her. There's a reason I put the video out this morning about her. I'm not a fan. Terry is a trans woman. She is a male. Those things don't go together. You cannot be a trans woman and be male. If what you're saying about Terry is true, I'm going to put them on the same list as what's her name, Blair. Where'd she say that? You mean the clip? Just Google it. Blair White trans kids. Google it. It's some clip from, wow, this is spicy. From like an Australian news thing. Yeah, it's kind of like Kanye West being racist. Exactly. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like you're what? How are you? How are you working against your own people? Makes no sense. I don't know how parents can support their kids in whatever. Oh, yes, yes. Parents need to support their kids. Absolutely. Hosier, why don't you watch it and report back? Go ahead. Watch it and report back. The words escaped Blair's lips that there is no such thing as trans kids, and I say that as a trans adult. Period. That's a contextless clip that says everything you need to know. Period. I think she goes on to talk about how they can be confused, and it's like, no, 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 no. You're selling out your own kind. You're done. I would imagine that she finds herself in a weird spot because I would argue that most trans people lean left. The idea of right-leaning, of conservative trans people is pretty wild. Most trans people are left-leaning because the left is where we're accepted. That's the people who fight for trans people. So most trans people are left. So to be a conservative trans person is kind of like you really don't fit in because you definitely don't fit in with conservatives. Conservatives don't like you. They think you're like one of the good ones, but it's like Django, right? Django Unchained. Sam Jackson's character, it's not like Leo likes Sam Jackson's character. He keeps Sam Jackson around because Sam Jackson helps him keep the other in line, you know? I can't say it because of I don't want the algorithm to get messed up, but you understand, right? Blair White, they don't like Blair White. Blair White is a tool to them, you know? She is a self-hating trans person that gives them ammunition against other trans people. She serves a purpose for them, so they will keep her in their circle. But they will never accept her. They will never advocate for her. They will actively advocate against her. And she will keep working with them as long as she's safe under their wing. You know? Yeah, she's only protecting herself. Exactly. Thank you, Maggie. And she's not the only one. It's not like she's the only one. There's plenty of trans people out there, unfortunately, with platforms that do this, and it's all the same. It's all the same. And arguably, it might be easier to get noticed as someone like that because you are saying such wild things. Even conservatives are like, wow, she's trans and she's saying that. Okay. I mean, we'll take it, but... Yeah, they only talk... Yeah, in my comment section this morning, there were conservatives arguing for Blair White in my comments this morning. Saying... I remember someone was like, Blair is 90% a woman, you're just a man. And it's like, what kind of backhanded compliment is that? Like, 90% a woman? Why would anyone argue with you who only thinks you're 90% a person? You know? Get out of here. My daughter told her friends, if your beliefs believe not everyone deserves rights, we can't be friends. More power to your daughter. Thank you, Polly, for subscribing. Opa. Do I miss my glasses? Totally. I'm going to start wearing them once I can. I personally can't be closer than an acquaintance to any colleague or anyone conservative. Same. Thank you, Polly. Welcome. I heard a queer influencer say you and Blair White were two sides of the same coin. Okay. I don't understand that argument at all. I don't understand. Thank you, Brashley. Blair and I have fundamentally different approaches to the way we do content and fundamentally different beliefs. Who did I vote for? Kamala. Duh. Why would I vote for anyone other than her? And frankly, if you didn't vote for Kamala, you voted against the trans community. Duh. That's not that hard to understand. Have I been to trans rallies? Of course. I'm so confused. My Blair's point. What do you mean, Brittany? You consider it transphobic to not want to date a trans person? Why? Well, I would ask why. Do you just count trans people out entirely? Yes, Tiny. Yes, Becky. Do people recognize me? Sometimes. I don't know if I would, Simone. I don't know if I would appear on a show like whatchamacallit. I should come to New York City. I've been to New York. I like New York. Where I think a lot of people are confused by Blair White, and people like her. I was so funny on my Insta. I know, right? I just love poking fun at people's grammar sometimes because I don't know. I know it kind of comes off a little bit like snobby to correct someone's, your versus your, the apostrophe or not, but it makes me happy. So yeah, and like Tiny, I of course wish we had better choices, but we don't. And you gotta pick one. And there's an easy choice. I would date a trans person if they had bottom surgery. Okay, cool. There you go. I only care about a person's heart and kindness. Kimberly, that sounds like you might be pan. Because that's like the definition of being pan. Hearts, not parts. I love the grammar comebacks, especially when people are being rude. I like it too. It's like such an insult to their intelligence that, I mean, you see a pattern. A lot of people who are ill-informed on things tend to not have great grammar. I'm so pan, they call me Peter. Hey, yo. You nail the impersonation. Thank you, Nay. Conservatives will say I'm in a Democratic cult. Yeah, totally. Yeah, right. There are people out there. There's a conspiracy theory that I didn't get FFS. Can you, like, people look at my face and will do comparisons and be like, nothing changed, which is the craziest thing. When you look at the two pictures of me before and after, there's such a massive difference. Like, do I look like a different person? No, I still look like Lily, but I look like a significantly different version. Wild. I guess I don't know what people were expecting. Like, did you think I'd come out and like my eyes would be, swapped with my mouth, that I'd, look like my face is, I don't know what you expect. Yeah, it's not a face transplant. Like, the point is not to make you look like someone else. The point is to subtly change your face so that, they're more traditionally feminine, right? It's like a gender affirming thing. Anyways. Well, I don't even know what that means, Polly. GG Gorge, I don't know what that means. Personally, I didn't see it at first, but when you showed your side profile, I saw the difference. Fair enough. But, like, I think especially now, like, look at pictures of me. Like, take a screenshot of me right now. Here you go. Screenshot. Screenshot. And then scroll back in my timeline and compare those to what I used to look like. It's pretty significant of a difference. Trans YouTuber. Okay, gotcha. I have not heard of them. It's a pretty significant difference. I think maybe in the early days when there was a lot of swelling, you could. People said they don't see a difference, but I think that's maybe because there was just a lot of swelling and you couldn't see the difference quite yet. But now it's pretty much impossible to argue that there's not a big difference. You would have to change your hair to not look like you. Fair enough. And why would you not want to look like yourself, just a softer version? Exactly. I'm not trying to look like anyone else other than myself. I think a lot of people, maybe there are certain people that thought that my lips would be different. Because sometimes people get like filler. It's pretty common to get filler, especially with FFS. And that's just not something I wanted. Maybe that's what they wanted, they were looking for, and they don't see it. And they're like, oh, there's no difference. But look elsewhere. That's a good point. I don't know every trans person. It doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. If it makes you happier, that's all that matters. A good point. But that aside, it's inarguable I look different. Thank you, Danny, for subbing. No, I'm not, Allie. That was a short-lived situation. People must be blind because the change is so obvious. It's making me rage when they claim it. It makes me giggle. I don't know if I rage. I giggle. I think I was expecting a drastic change like Dylan's. Hers was a bit more noticeable first. I guess, but I I would need to look at Dylan's before and afters, but I think mine is still pretty dang drastic. I don't know who Alexis Blake is. Uh, Mrs. Hersey reminds me of an episode of Roseanne. Yeah, sure, I know gay Dave in Chicago. Yeah, like I get it. I'm in the social media space, but I don't know. There's a lot of trans content creators out there. If you put on a blonde wig, watch what they say. Then maybe this was technically the out, but we also already ate the main as well. Dylan's was filmed by a photographer. Yeah, exactly, Simone. Dylan did like a really fancy face reveal. People just have to pick you apart and say something like "move on." It's so old now. Tell them that. But I also, it's just part of the game. Sadly, there's gonna be haters. There's gonna be haters. A lot of them were incredibly popular. Oh, I know that. But also, there are a lot of incredibly popular trans people on the internet. People who have large followings, and I don't know all of them. I understand. I'm not like trying to say that like it's ridiculous for you to ask it that if I know someone. That's totally fine. But I have people I follow, and there's also a chance that whoever you're talking about, I've seen, but don't know the name of. Because a lot of times you see someone and it's like, oh yeah, I recognize that person. I just don't know their name. Poppy, we are moving towards dessert, I think. Should we take a look at the dessert menu? I feel like you just got your nails done. They grow fast. They do tend to grow pretty fast, yeah. Also, the kitchen is still open for a little bit longer. We could go sub only. I think we'll go sub only one way or another for dessert. Oh, you know what? I think last time they were out of the warm brownie. So we should do they have a warm brownie with ice cream and cajeta. What's cajeta? Not K. C-A-G-G. I cannot talk today. C-A-J-E-T-A. Cajeta. I just want carrot cake, and I'm not sure why. I don't even like it that much. Interesting. I love carrot cake. They have a tres leches flan. I actually could do a flan today. And they have waffle churros. I've done the waffle churros before. They're really good. But I've done them before. So I would say either the tres leches flan or a warm brownie with ice cream. It's a cheese. Wait, have we done that here before? Did we do the warm brownie here before? Thank you, McKenna, for subscribing. It's caramel. Did we do this? Did we do the warm brownie? I feel like we ordered it last time. Thank you, Dolce, for subscribing. Thank you, McKenna. That's very sweet of you. That's so sweet. Hi. Could I do the brownie, please? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. No, I don't think I did, Kimberly. Actually, today I could be down for a flan. I think I ordered the brownie last time, but they were out. And then we said, oh, well, let's just do whatever. And we didn't end up getting dessert, I think. I think that's what happened. Thank you, Valeria. It's from cider. It's thicker than a normal caramel. Look, let it be known that I am a fan of thickness. I'll let you do with that what you will. Yeah, it comes with ice cream. It comes with ice cream and caramel. I saw you in SF, but I was too... Oh, McKenna, if you see me again, feel free to say hi. Will never get over my usage of green screens. I know, right? I am just such a user and abuser of green screens. Does this look like a green screen? Does this look like a green screen? I know it kind of looks like one. It's so lovely. It looks really good. But it's not. It's not a green screen. It's real life. It's pretty enough to look fake. Run up to the... the paid actors on break, I know. Thank you, Dolce. Y'all open the Pandora's box. You want to see the... You want me to jump in the fountain? We need to do look, I will jump in the fountain if y'all want to... We'd have to... Oh, I feel like I might get banned. I'll tell you what, if we raise $200, I'll step in the fountain up to my knees. I don't even know if I could go much further than that. We want to raise money. I'll do it. That'd be fun. It looks kind of green. That's why I'm making it a high amount of money. Y'all really want to see it? I'll do it. I'll pay for this meal. Yeah, everyone's back on set. We got the paid actors coming back, the green screen. It's really hot in this studio. Speaking of which, actually it's a little cool in this studio. I am going to put on my jacket. Oh no, actually, it would be Chaka to going towards this meal. You are good, McKenna. No money raised today. This would be. I don't think so. This would be towards making the meal possible. Any gifts that come through will go towards the meal, go towards paying the bill, but also eventually, if we are able to cover the meal, towards my fountain bond. Help me pay for stuff like rent, things like that. So, yeah. And I was only half joking about the fountain thing. I don't really want to do that. I'd prefer not to. But if y'all want to send gifts, I'm always grateful. Anyways, I'm excited for this brownie. Am I still? Oh yeah, Disney. Let's talk about Disney. I would like to go back to Disney. I am thinking about it. I am like kind of teetering on the edge because I really want to go. I'm trying to like hype myself up for it because it's like a pretty big purchase, but it is exciting. I know it'll be exciting for y'all. It'll be exciting for me. Disneyland. It would be next month. I think it would be fun. I think I'd be able to do a whole bunch of fun stuff there, film a whole bunch of cool content, stream a whole bunch. I think ultimately it would be a good choice. It's just it's a big thing. It would be me alone. Yeah, I'd go alone. It would just be like a big step, of like, okay, we're doing it. It's a lot. So I would like to. Never been to Disney before. Wow. And it's almost the year anniversary of when I was at Disney last. I was at Disney the end of April, early May last year. And we did a bunch of stuff. I want to buy you your stuff. Oh, thank you. Honestly, Inked Mama, if you want to contribute to Disney, the best way you can do that is to send gifts directly. Speaking of, we got a wonderful gift from... Okay, today I want to do... Ooh, hi. I think I ordered the brownie, if that's okay. But I set it to the other server. And I'll take the check whenever. Just I don't want to keep you too... Yeah, thank you. Okay. So what I was saying today, we got a nice gift that came through. I want to make sure today that if any gifts come through, please specify in the message if you want me to say your name. This person's name starts with a K. Let me know if I should say your full name, just because there's been a little bit of increased activity on people like trying to, track, like go on people's profiles and blah, blah, blah. And we don't like that. Difference between Disney World and Land. World is in Florida, Land is in California. World is bigger. Thank you, Kim. This is from Kim. Hello, Kimberly. Kimberly sent $10. Thank you very much. And sent 5 yellow heart emojis, which is so sweet. Thank you, Kim. This is going towards the meal. This is going towards, hopefully, a Disney trip next month. It's gas in the tank. World is better, I agree, but I'm also don't care anymore. Yeah, I feel that. World is better, but also Florida's not a great place for any trans person right now. And I live much closer to Disneyland. Disneyland is a very short flight. It's like an hour-and-a-half flight to LA from San Francisco. And and it's just safer. It's just a safer place to be. So anyways, thank you very much, Kimberly. These gifts go a super duper long way. It's really hard to overstate how far they go. If you think about it, if everyone in this stream sent $10 right now, that would be huge. That's like a huge, not only, of course it'd cover this meal, but it'd also be like a really big chunk out of my rent this month, which again, this is my full-time job. It's not like I do other stuff to make ends meet. Content creation is the deal. That's what I do. And it's a job that I love doing. It can be a little bit unpredictable when it comes to uh, like how much income do I have this month? Like, do I have to save for rent? Like, is there going to be a lull this month or whatever? Um, so I like how your haters pay for everything. It can be helpful sometimes when they bring traffic to my videos. But ultimately, y'all's gifts support this stream happening every day. If you are someone who likes these streams, your gifts keep it going. There is no like better way to keep this from keep this happening from than a gift like that, because it's a one-to-one. It all goes to the stream, every single bit of it. So if you like this stream, gifting is the best thing you can do, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Here, let me give you my card. By the way, you're so sweet, and I just appreciate you.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, let me get the right one. There we go. Thank you so much. Hi, Veronica. Wish you came up with something. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. What card is that? That's my laundry card. I handed you my laundry card, and I apologize for that. This is the right card. I could have sworn that's what I gave you. I just handed the server my laundry card, which has money on it, but not the right kind of money.
I'm just stressed right now. Yes or no, or like blindly. They just like check everything. It's like, oh, okay, you have angry
Do you want me to say?
Huh? Do you want to say hi? You can if you want. You don't have to.
Okay. I don't know. If you help. If it will help. If it makes a difference.
Sure. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
This is Anna. I don't know if they can see it. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. It's hard to see the screen. There. Everyone say hi to Anna. Anna's the best server in the world. They're saying hi. They're saying hey. There we go. It's ANA, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. I know. I know, Cali girl. Cute. I know. Right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your real name's Anna? That's cool. Yeah, she's here most of the time that I come here. And she's always very nice about like helping me get set up and, getting the music turned down a little bit. Very sweet. How did that lip do? Did I accidentally just do it somewhere I shouldn't have? It's so hard to see the screen because it's too. Is she single? Ask her out. I don't know, and I feel like it might be crossing a boundary for me to ask. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about it, but you know. Oh, absolutely. But I don't want to be that weird person. It's always like, you never want to be that person. Because it's her job to be nice, It's her job to be nice. Okay. So again, we haven't had the dessert yet. We're still waiting on it. But what's my makeup routine? Good question. You actually can find out yourself because every morning I do a Get Ready With Me stream. Okay, so the things that we got. We'll guess now. We still have the brownie to eat, but we might as well do the game now. Yeah, I don't want to make it awkward. No. I'm not doing that, Angie. We can do funny little $200 to jump in the fountain thing, but that's not. We're not doing that because that when real people come into the picture, other than me, it's choices can't be made on that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna. But she is very cute. So I'll just keep coming back and hey, you never know. So we have a tea. The hibiscus tea. We got the crudo, which was like the fish, and that was really good. We got the carnitas with a mole on it. And then what we're waiting for is the brownie with ice cream and caramel. The total came to blah, blah, blah. And then I tipped something on top of that, probably like 30%-ish. What was the total? And again, we're still waiting on the brownie. So, okay. Yeah, go ahead and start guessing. Only guess once, please. Just one time. You could put in my number on the receipt. Just could be so awkward, you know. If it works, great. But if it doesn't, like, it's just I want to keep coming back here. I like this restaurant a lot. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. That's not my style. Um, yeah, prefer a slow burn. No need to push anything. Um, all right. We have another few seconds to guess. Something's pretty quite close. Thank you, Arden, for subscribing. I'll give Arden a second to guess if they want to. Let's see who's the closest so far. Almost there. Okay, I know who is closest. I know who's closest. Yes. All right. Got it, McKenna. Exactly. Okay. Actually, one of our moderators got it today. The one and only Kathy. Kathy, my girl, you got it. You got it. And thank you, PI, for subscribing. Welcome. Kathy, 9212. You never won? I guess you haven't. You guessed 9212. Free tip, it was 72.78. Thank you. I tipped $20 on top of that, bringing it to 92.78, bringing you to under $1 under a dollar. You are less than $1 away. Do you know what you win, Kathy? You win a bit of nothing. Because, see, Kathy is British. English. So she wins a bit of nothing, but also spot of everything. Bit of nothing, bit of everything. She wins a water bottle. We'll throw a water bottle in there. Congratulations, Kathy. You win. Y'all, here's the brownie. We definitely didn't get this last time. Kathy wins a bite of this brownie if she can get here by the time I finish it. So it's a brownie with ice cream and cajete. I guess it's Mexican caramel. There we go. All right. Okay, fine. It's wonderful. Not that I'm surprised, because this place is delicious. You like when I say water bottle? This is incredible. This is really good. Wow. It's really good. Wow. Ice cream's lovely. The brownie's warm and delicious. Very, very chocolatey. They're not messing around. It's not just like a little chocolatey. It's very chocolatey. I think it's just vanilla, which is exactly what it needs to be. No, I haven't played Fortnite in a long time. I would like to, though. Kathy's in England. So for her to get here before I finish this is a pretty tall order. Do I get nervous knowing 1,000 people are watching? Not really. Just don't think about it. It's like I'm part of it. Like, sure, I see the number, but also it's hard to imagine that many people watching. It's kind of weird.
The weather's getting nice right now.
I understand it's true, but I also don't like, it just, even if I did think about it, it doesn't really make me nervous. Maggie, I'll let you know if and when I download it. Wow. Wow. This is really good. most viewers I've ever had. There was a day where one of my most viral videos was really popping, and I think I had like 13,000 people watching at once. It was crazy. I couldn't read the chat. It was impossible to read. I was just kind of sitting there like, can some people go away, please, so I can read the chat? It was impossible. But it wasn't for long. It was like very brief that we got up to that number. And it was because one of my videos was like really going crazy. Have I ever traveled overseas? I have, many times actually. But a country I would like to visit would be Japan. Specifically so I can go to Tokyo Disney. Exactly. When Elon responded to my thing, that's when it really blew up. Now, local, I don't know if I tried the birria tacos at Disney. Also, I'm going to drink this caramel off the plate. Wow. That's really good. Just give it to me. Look at all this caramel. Yes, please. God, I want to lick the plate so bad. I can get it without licking it, though. Mm. Oh, no. Oh, there's Kathy. Sorry. Sorry, Kathy. You're too late. I know. Look. Sorry. All right. So today's Thursday, which means tomorrow, as Rebecca would say, Rebecca Black, is Friday. I will stream tomorrow. We will do a Get Ready With Me stream and a restaurant stream, as per usual. Yeah, I'll have to order another one. She'll have to leave to go back to the UK and then come back again, because fair is fair. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you to Kim for the gift. Thank you to my moderators, especially in the beginning. That was crazy. And I've kind of just been doing that lately, and they've been being awesome, keeping things as safe as we can, as respectful as we can. In the chat, thank you to you for being here. Yes, I hope Sushi Train too. We've been kind of like stalling out a little bit on subscriber numbers, but I would really like to hit 900. If you're someone who's watching who's considered subscribing, you know, maybe do it today or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's the day, and we can go to a Sushi Train restaurant because I think that's a pretty good price. Cool. So thank you, everyone. I love you. I appreciate you. And until tomorrow, stay lovely.